Sometimes I say she's an octopus, you know, she doesn't, it gets every ball. She's always there. She doesn't give up. Big serve, you know. Sometimes it's a bit annoying when someone is serving well. She can go anywhere to get any ball. I mean, she already won
Hmm.
I think two Grand Slams now, and a lot of, you know, 1000s, and she's been playing good. She's been at the great level with the same techniques.
Ons Jabeur, a former Grand Slam finalist and the first African woman to reach the #2 ranking in the WTA, recently made a bold statement that caught almost everyone by surprise. She openly spoke in favor of Coco Gauff, and her words have sent shockwaves through the tennis world, especially within Aryna Sabalenka's camp. Jabeur did not hesitate when she said that Coco Gauff is the hardest opponent she has ever faced on the WTA Tour. Take a moment to think about how powerful that statement is. This is coming from a player who has gone up against the very best in the sport. She has competed in several Grand Slam finals and has played nearly every top-ranked player you can think of, and yet she is saying that Coco Gauff stands above them all as the toughest challenge. But Jabeur did not stop there. She went even further by saying that even Aryna Sabalenka, the current world #1 and one of the most dominant players in women's tennis today, does not match Coco's level when it comes to movement on the court. That is a huge claim, and it is safe to say Sabalenka was not pleased to hear it.
She doesn't give up. Big serve, you know. Sometimes it's a bit annoying when someone is serving well. She can go anywhere to get any ball.
Before anyone brushes this off as just another controversial opinion, it is important to understand where Ons Jabeur is coming from. She is not making these comments based on watching matches from home or sitting on the sidelines. She has played against both Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka many times during her career. She knows their games deeply and understands what it feels like to face them in intense, high-pressure situations. This is not guesswork, this is experience speaking. According to Jabeur, Sabalenka can be challenged by forcing her to chase every ball. She also pointed out that Sabalenka tends to get frustrated on court, and that frustration often becomes visible during matches. We have all seen moments where Sabalenka smashes rackets or clearly shows her anger when things are not going her way. Jabeur believes this emotional response is a weakness, and she says Coco Gauff exploits it better than anyone else. When Jabeur spoke about Coco, she highlighted one thing above all else: her work rate. Coco's effort on court is unmatched. She covers ground like very few players can, and her ability to reach balls that seem impossible to retrieve separates her from the rest. There is another reason why Jabeur's opinion carries serious weight. The match results back it up. Jabeur has beaten Aryna Sabalenka several times throughout her career. Her first victory came at the French Open, followed by another major win at Wimbledon. These were not minor events, these were Grand Slam tournaments, played on the biggest stages with everything on the line. In many of their meetings, Jabeur clearly understood how to play Sabalenka. She read her patterns, targeted her weaknesses, and pushed the current world #1 to the limit time and time again. Jabeur proved that she could compete with Sabalenka and often come out on top. However, the story changes completely when it comes to Coco Gauff. Jabeur has never been able to defeat Coco in any major tournament. Even during the best period of her career, when she reached back-to-back Grand Slam finals and was playing the best tennis of her life, she still could not solve the puzzle that is Coco Gauff. Think about that. At her absolute peak, while beating almost everyone else and making deep runs in the biggest tournaments, Coco Gauff remained the one opponent she could not overcome. Jabeur made her point crystal clear with a memorable comparison. She described Coco Gauff as an octopus. Yes, an octopus. She explained that Coco does not let any ball go easily. It feels as if she has 8 arms on the court, reaching into every corner, defending every shot, and forcing her opponents to work for every single point.
Corner that she hates,
Yeah,
she'll
you
get
break her
super
rhythm.
frustrated.
Yeah, yeah.
And if she's very fast and doesn't let me do my shots, that's very frustrating to me.
Ons, with you, like I feel like when you played her, you really were able to take over her speed very well. Like I feel like the more you played her, the better you got in control of, like, even when she was dominating the point.
This octopus comparison may be one of the most accurate ways to describe Coco Gauff's playing style. Anyone who has watched her play understands exactly what Ons Jabeur means. Coco's court coverage is outstanding. Her speed, anticipation, and ability to retrieve shots that would be winners against 99% of other players make her incredibly hard to beat. When you play against Coco Gauff, one good shot is never enough. You need 2, 3, sometimes 4 or 5 excellent shots just to win a single point. She keeps getting the ball back. She forces her opponents to take bigger risks, and eventually, those risks lead to mistakes. Playing against that level of defense is mentally draining, and Jabeur knows this better than most. Even though Aryna Sabalenka may strongly dislike these comments, the facts and results speak clearly. The numbers do not lie, and neither does the head-to-head record. Coco has shown superiority in terms of playing style and career direction. Here is the cleaner technique, more power, or a more traditional forehand. Others claim Coco's technique is flawed and will eventually limit her success. Ons Jabeur strongly disagreed with that idea. She made it clear that Coco, even with a style people love to criticize, has already won 2 Grand Slam titles. She is not just winning small matches, she is winning the biggest tournaments in the sport and beating the very best players to do it. Jabeur pointed out something that should be obvious. Coco is comfortable with her technique. It is not a weakness, it is simply her style. She has developed it over many years, and it is working extremely well. There is nothing in Coco's results that suggests her technique is holding her back. If anything, her unique style, combined with her athleticism and court coverage, makes her even harder to prepare for. Tennis history has proven many times that perfect technique is not the only path to success. Some of the greatest players ever had unconventional styles. What truly matters is results, and Coco's results speak loudly. Looking at both players' career paths makes the comparison even more interesting. Aryna Sabalenka is an outstanding champion. She has earned her world #1 ranking and has won 3 Grand Slam titles with powerful, aggressive tennis. That cannot be taken away from her. However, when we focus on the matches that define legacies, the Grand Slam finals, the picture becomes very clear. Coco Gauff is undefeated against Sabalenka in those moments. 2 Grand Slam finals, 2 wins for Coco Gauff. These are the matches fans remember. These are the moments written into tennis history. Under the brightest lights and the greatest pressure, Coco has shown she has the mental strength, physical ability, and competitive spirit to outlast Sabalenka. The mental side of this rivalry is important too. For Sabalenka, facing Coco in major matches now likely comes with added psychological pressure. The pattern is there, and breaking that kind of mental barrier is extremely difficult in professional sports. So, to wrap things up, even though Aryna Sabalenka may not appreciate Ons Jabeur's comments, the reality is hard to ignore. Coco Gauff represents a different level of challenge. When we compare career paths, Grand Slam finals, and performances on the biggest stages, Coco has the edge. Ons Jabeur did not make her statement to disrespect Sabalenka or stir up drama. She spoke honestly as someone who has competed against both players at the highest level. She knows Sabalenka's power. She also knows Coco's relentless defense and octopus-like court coverage. And, based on her experience, Coco is the tougher opponent. This rivalry between Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka is far from finished. Both players are young and have many years of top-level tennis ahead of them. But right now, the evidence supports Jabeur's bold claim. Coco Gauff is operating at a level that makes her the most difficult opponent on the WTA Tour.
What do you think about Ons Jabeur's statement? Do you agree that Coco is the toughest opponent in women's tennis right now? Or do you think Sabalenka deserves more credit? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.